Making the transition from doubles to draft has been tough. But these are tears of joy, man. I have worked so fucking hard. I couldn't be more happier for Matt. Matt O'Shea, you deserve this win, dude. Congratulations. I'm gonna spoil this now. We're gonna do another season of the BBR. We're gonna start right at the turnaround at the end of this game. The moment that you guys see this, probably the Monday after, we'll start announcing the new coaches, and I'm very excited for. It's gonna be a good time. You guys are gonna be in for a treat. It's gonna be awesome. Thank you guys so much for supporting me this season in the BBR. We're gonna be back. I'm gonna work fucking even harder to get back to the same spot. And I really hope that Matt ends up there too. I want to prove that I could do it without Dracovish. I want to prove that I could do it without Dracovish.
Are you afraid of the dark? Are you scared?
Ladies and gentlemen of the sanctuary, beautiful people, good morning. I am the Grandmaster, and I also go by D-Ray, and I am your coach of the San Diego Snugglers. And today, we are bringing you the draft analysis for the Ultimate Battle League. I've been a fan of the UBL for quite some time, and to be here now is kind of surreal. It's an honor, honestly. Shout out to Automatic for inviting us to participate this season. It's real cool that we're here. It's awesome. I'm very blessed. Our climb up has been real. To be starting to play Draft League, I think it's been over a year now. To be here now quickly is really cool. So I'm very, very thankful to be here. And I think it's really cool too that we are debuting in the UBL at the same season that Auto rolls out these brand new beautiful graphics that ironically enough are done by the same exact artist that created the San Diego Snugglers logo. Is that a sign? I don't know, but I'm just saying the stars are aligning somewhere. Pedro Miranda, shout out to him. He created the Snugglers logo as well as his brand new UBL graphics. I think a link to his stuff will be down below with all the UBL stuff. Please check him out. Phenomenal human being and amazing content artist, as you can see. Also, shout out to Just Kurt. He's the one who put the slides together for me. Your boy's got 2 kids. I'm a busy guy, dude. I've got a whole day job before this, and we had a little bit of a time crunch before we changed the upload time. So Kurt really saved my ass. Please do me a massive favor. I'll leave a link to his stuff, his YouTube channel down below. He just passed 200 subscribers. He's one of my best friends in the community. It means the absolute world to me if you head over there and subscribe to him and help continue to support him as he continues his Draft League endeavors. If you want to learn more about Draft League and become a better battler, I highly recommend for you to check out his stuff. He's an amazing human, he's an amazing person, and he's a great content creator. So please support him. And hi, hello there. If you're new here, please consider sticking around. We also have great Draft League stuff here too. If you're excited for us participating in this season of the UBL, do me the massive favor and shadow claw that thumbs up button. And if you're new, like I said, por favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit the bell button so you can get notified every single time we post a new video. With all the logistic stuff out the way, let's go ahead and hop on into the team builder, shall we? Couple things about the draft. We were position number 10, I believe. 10 out of I don't remember how many coaches, but we're position number 10. So we also, when we were thinking about what we wanted to draft, kind of wanted to go into an open mind. We didn't really have a plan for this draft, honestly. If I say we, I mean my front office. So we just decided to wait to see what came to us, and then we'll go from there. We do have to fill 1,100 points with 11 Pokemon, no more, no less. Can't spend no more than 1,100. So by the time I got to pick number 10, which is us, we're like, oh my god, there it is. At least I was like, oh my god, there it is. I kind of tried to avoid drafting this Pokemon. We had extreme success with it in the BBR Season 2. Brought us all the way to the finals. We unfortunately lost to Matt O'Shea. Congratulations to him again. But with it being there, I thought, you know what? I said I wasn't going to draft it again, but I listened to my gut, and I feel like now's the time to dip back into this cookie jar. So for the very first pick, your San Diego Snugglers decided to reunite themselves with QB1 Dracovish. Dracovish is our very first pick. This Pokemon is the button clicker. For those who don't know, this thing gets a move called Vicious Rend. Hits like an absolute truck. It's got a base 85 attack, which doubles if you go first, plus stab, and boosted by its ability, Strong Jaw. So if you don't have anything to check this, your wall is going to get blown buns backwards. Dracovish hits like an absolute freight train. So I'm super happy to have this thing back. Even with the Choice Scarf, this thing still hits stupid hard. If my opponent doesn't have a Storm Drain or Water Absorb Pokemon, their water type is even going to take like minimum 40%. It's so crazy. So crazy. It's also got other moves to be able to help with that, along with Super Fang, good Elemental Fang moves. It gets Crunch as well. Phenomenal Pokemon. You always typically want to click Vicious Rend, which is really the only button you really need to pick. So I was super excited to have this again on the team. So I wanted to build a team around Dracovish a lot better than I did in the BBR, because the BBR had needed a little bit more pieces for it to succeed just a little bit more. So I wanted to make Dracovish the focal point of this team. So with the second pick, just going off memory here because I'm not looking at what I picked up. I believe that I did. Okay, I remember now. This Pokemon is here to ensure that I'm able to check whatever checks Dracovish. What comes in on Dracovish? Bulky water types and bulky grass types. So I wanted to pick up a Pokemon that's able to take care of those Pokemon with its dual stabs. So we picked up Zapdos. It's funny because Josh, older player, had these core of Dracovish and Zapdos in season 4 of the NCP. When I first saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, wow, that's a really good pairing. Zapdos with the dual stabs of electric and flying. This thing is absolutely a phenomenal partner for Dracovish. Getting rid of those bulky grass types, those bulky water types, being able to U-turn out on ground types to be able to get the Dracovish back in again. This Pokemon is amazing as a physically and specially defensive tank, with access to pressure to be able to PP stall my opponent, as well as static. So if there's a faster Pokemon that makes contact with Zapdos, if there's a chance that I think it's a 30% chance to paralyze it, thus making it slower, so that way Dracovish can come in and outspeed it with Vicious Rend and then bop that thing. This thing isn't getting access to Defog, and the buff with heavy duty boots is really nice to not get that chip damage from Stealth Rock is absolutely phenomenal. But this thing is going to be a really good threat, because mostly they gave it Hurricane this generation. So I do have the Rain option. I'm not gonna go Rain, spoilers, but I could have. If I go for manual Rain, that'll be really nice too. Because Hurricane, as long as with his electric stabs, this thing is such a good partner for Dracovish, so I had to pick it up. With our third pick, I picked this up merely because I feel like it'd be a good partner with Dracovish, because if there is a Pokemon that is not grass or water that Zapdos may have a little bit of a harder time to take care of, I'm able to come in, trap it, and get rid of it. And this Pokemon was a phenomenal value for where it was. I don't know if it was they missed it, but we picked up Gothitelle. Gothitelle with Shadow Tag. So this Pokemon is absolutely phenomenal to pair with Dracovish. And the reason for it is, like I said, it's able to trap the checks that my opponent has for Dracovish. Zapdos is going to get rid of the defensive threats. If there's an offensive threat that's going to be giving Dracovish some trouble, we can trap it, kill it. Cosmic Power sets, phenomenal. Being able to get those Cosmic Power plus Rest plus any kind of stab, Psychic move, plus Filler. Gets good coverage. Thunderbolt, Energy Ball, just to name a few, to be able to hit those water and those ground types, and those electric types if I need to. So pretty phenomenal Pokemon to be able to fit on the team with Dracovish, just to get rid of whatever check my opponent has. So I thought that it was a really good value to pick up before someone else caught on to it. So with the next pick, we decided to pick up Roserade, which is going to help us a lot with not only getting rid of those bulky grass types, as well as the fairy types that want to come in and get that super effective damage on Dracovish. And it's also going to give us spikes. Toxic spikes and spikes are going to come a long way to chip down my opponent's team, to wear them down, to get in range of Vicious Rend from Dracovish, to get in range of Zapdos. It's going to be really nice to set up hazards against my opponent. This Pokemon does miss Hidden Power a little bit. I hate Hidden Power, but I will admit it was really nice on Roserade because it was boosted by Technician. Being able to have any kind of stab was really nice. But this Pokemon is mainly here to get rid of grass types and to get rid of fairy types. That's the main role of our Roserade. The one negative side about Roserade is that it is part poison type, and that's a double-edged sword, right? One side because it's not a resistance to ground. Other side is because it's a poison type that is touching the ground, which means that it also absorbs toxic spikes that my opponent decided to set up. So really nice to have Roserade on the team. And with the next pick, we have Rabonbi. Rabonbi was more of a budget fairy type because we've already spent a lot of points so far, to be honest. And Rabonbi is going to provide us with webs. So it's a good pairing. We have Slurpuff in the NCP. We wanted to get Rabonbi in this one. It's a faster threat. Base 123 speed, I believe, is what it hits. I think off the top of my head. And having access to Sticky Web to be able to drop down the speed of my opponent's Pokemon to let Fish's Wrens hit at max power from Dracovish to be able to outspeed it. So good. This thing can also be an offensive threat as well, being able to fire off really powerful Moonblasts, being able to Quiver Dance, has access to Psychic and Bug Buzz. This Pokemon could be a threat if my opponent doesn't respect it. So if there's a matchup where Rabonbi can come in and be the offensive threat that it is, then that'll be really nice. And also another Pokemon that benefits off of heavy duty boots. So Rabonbi is going to be really nice support. It also gets access to Defog, which is nice. So Rabonbi could be a hazard remover, which is really awesome. So now Zapdos is in pigeonholed to that, which is super good. And yeah, this Pokemon is going to be really clutch to be able to set up those sticky webs. So that's going to be our fairy for our team. Next mon we picked up is going to be Seismitoad. Seismitoad is going to serve as our ground type, as well as our bulky water. Dracovish can't count as a bulky water. Dracovish is the breaker. I can't bring in my Dracovish on a roll that needs a bulky water. So I decided to pick up Seismitoad, and it also takes off one of the best checks to Dracovish from the board. So my opponents can't draft it, which is phenomenal. It's a water absorb Pokemon in itself, which is really nice to have. Gets access to Poison Touch. It could be pretty clutch in some matchups to be able to get that poison on those physical attackers. It could be physical, could be special. Gets up rocks for us. This is our first rock setter, which is really important, being able to set up hazards because my opponent's going to want to shift around a lot, which is really nice. Getting access to Power Whip was really nice for this thing. So it's able to get rid of those bulky water types as well. So it's able to come in, absorb the water type attacks my opponent has, and hit him back with a Power Whip, which is actually really clutch. So Seismitoad can be offensive and a really good defensive piece for our team. So really clutch, we're able to pull that off the board, and so another team couldn't pick it up. Next mon we have is Zoroark, another way for us to make Dracovish shine. Could you imagine a matchup where Zoroark comes in and disguises itself as Dracovish, and you bring in your check to Dracovish, and then I just bop you with the flamethrower, or I bop you with the sludge bomb? Being able to get that pulled off would be absolutely phenomenal. This Pokemon gets amazing coverage. It gets Grass Knot for those really thick ground types. Gets Grass Knot for those really thick water types that want to come in on Dracovish, and even like Suicune, to name one, or Milotic would be really nice. Being able to disguise yourself as Zapdos or Dracovish is so valuable for this team. It's an offensive dark type, not a defensive one, so that's something that we do have to keep in mind. But Zoroark puts in the offensive pressure, and it can really play some mind games with my opponent. So this is pretty solid pickup for us. I think Zoroark is going to be able to put in the work. I think it's going to be super good for this team. Being able to disguise yourself as the other threats that our opponents has to prep for is really nice. So Zoroark is amazing value. So this is our fourth 100 point Pokemon in a row. So we're going to try to get those middle ground Pokemon so that everything has a good chance to come. It's not top heavy. You don't expect the same 4 Pokemon to come every single week. No, we want to make sure we're more diverse. So that's the idea behind the point spending there. With the next pick, we picked up Copper Jaw. I wanted to get a steel type that also has access to Stealth Rock because our only Stealth Rocker at this point is Seismitoad. So now we have 2 rockers, a pretty decent steel type. It's not the best in the world because it's super duper slow, but it does get coverage up the wazoo. Power Whip, Play Rough, Earthquake, Superpower, Iron Head, Heavy Slam, Heat Crash, phenomenal coverage. Being able to hit a lot of things for super effective damage, very clutch. This thing is going to be really nice to be able to check some niche Pokemon that may want to be really annoying for Zapdos and for Dracovish. It's a set of rocks, to be honest, to be that bulky steel type. And I do have the option to Trick Room with Gothitelle plus Copper Jaw. Copper Jaw can be a pretty threatening Trick Room sweeper if you do ask me. because of its sheer force ability and all that coverage that it does get. If my opponent has a really bad Trick Room matchup, like it's super stupid fast, I can set up Trick Room, and then Copper Jaw can just take advantage. So there's a couple different modes that we can go with our Copper Jaw. So that's really nice. And yeah, that's the main idea behind that. Mostly just a steel type with rocks was the biggest thing, and more of a value at 80. I think it was a steal in my opinion. Next Pokemon that we got was Hitmonchan. Now, I didn't bring it all that much. Actually, I only brought it to one game is because of the game that didn't matter last season of the NCP. But there's no denying that Hitmonchan is still a really good budget fighting type Pokemon. Getting access to Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards, and getting a Rapid Spinner to be able to not remove our own hazards, our Spikes, our Stealth Rock, our Sticky Web, because we do officially have every form of hazard, which is really nice. So being able to Rapid Spin my opponent's hazards away is super valuable. And then Hitmonchan can provide some offensive pressure with the Iron Fist boosted elemental punches. Also gets access to close combat. And the buff of Rapid Spin boosting his speed by 1 can make it a really big offensive threat. And it's super fat on the Spadef side, so running an Assault Vest is going to be really nice for a Hitmonchan here. So mostly here for Rapid Spin and to create that offensive pressure, which is really nice. We're in a budget pick. Now with the next pick, we wanted to get Leafeon here, but unfortunately, I think it was Irish Emerald, he sniped us mad hard. Leafeon would have been phenomenal for Heal Bell, for Wish support, and a really bulky grass type with some speed to be able to absorb those ground type hits, because Roserade can't do that because of its part poison type. So we ended up going with plan B, and that was Thwackey. Thwackey is going to provide a couple different things for us, mainly the grassy terrain and priority in Grassy Glide. Grassy terrain is going to be nice for mitigating those ground type moves, mainly the earthquakes that want to come for Copper Jaw. So now my opponent's forced to run a different ground type move. Mainly High Horsepower, which has a chance to miss. Stomping Tantrum, which is not as strong as Earthquake, which is really nice. So it's one thing that they have to prep for, alongside things like Gothitelle plus Zapdos plus Dracovish. A lot of things that my opponents have to keep in mind. Thwackey also is able to provide some knockoff support for us, access to Taunt, so it's a good stall breaker, but mainly here to ensure that we don't lose to ground types with Earthquake. They have to do alternative moves in order for them to do damage to our team, which is really awesome in prep, in my opinion. And having that grassy terrain option is really nice because all the terrains were drafted. Tapu Lele was drafted, Tapu Koko was drafted, so was Tapu Fini. So all the Tapus were drafted. Also Rillaboom, so we also have grassy terrain as well with our baby Rillaboom Thwackey here. So terrain wars are going to be a big thing in Draft League, and I want to make sure that I have ours to be able to change the terrain if we absolutely need to. So Thwackey could be that niche option that we can basically use to our advantage in a lot of matchups. Now with the last pick, this is a pick that I really wanted to get a normal type, but unfortunately I was also sniped, so it is what it is. I also wanted to get that really good speed tier between Rabonbi and I believe my next fastest Pokemon, which was Zoroark. So I wanted to get that 110 base speed tier, so we picked up the Dino Bird Archeops. Amazing budget pick. This thing was only 20 points, dude. 20 points. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This thing has base 140 attack with Head Smash. Because that's Defeatist? So what, dude? All you need to get is 1 or 2 big massive hits and you just broke your opponent's team. Now they're in the back foot and they have to scramble. Stab Head Smash, a base of 440 attack with a base 110 speed? Come on now. And this is also a really good special threat with base 112 special attack, I believe is what it is. Getting access to Earth Power, gets access to Air Slash if you need that. Heat Wave, which is really, really nice. It gets access to Stealth Rock, and having the buff now with Heavy Duty Boots, allowing us to take less chip from Stealth Rock to put us in that Defeatist range. This Pokemon is such a good offensive Pokemon. It's a glass cannon. It's going to come in, bop something really hard, and get out. So, and also sets up Stealth Rock, which is nice. It's another Stealth Rocker for the team, another Defogger for the team. Provided a lot for us. I wanted to get a normal type here, but being able to get Archeops was really, really nice. So that's the thought process behind that. So that is going to be the team. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comment section below. I'm still kind of debating on the nicknames here. Don't really know what's going to be. We'll find out. All I know is we got QB1 for Dracovish. The QB1 is back on the squad. That's all we need. When you have Dracovish, there's a chance. If you guys enjoyed this draft analysis, make sure you leave a like. And if you're new, watching this video, first time, I know there's a couple of you that aren't subscribed, hit that big red button, subscribe. It really would mean the world to me. It shows me that you're supporting. the movement here, and we're getting closer to our goal of 400 subscribers, which would be really, really cool to hit. So the links to the UBL will be down in the description below as well. Our first week will be on Monday, this coming Monday. So not tomorrow, but the next day, against Johnny GB. A very bad matchup for us. But hey, if you have to get the hard ones out the way first, then get the hard ones out the way first. It is what it is. We just have a horrific matchup against this team. But that's okay. We'll see what we can do. We play Johnny GB on Monday. And until then, make sure you guys have a great rest of your day. And above all else, be nice. Peace.